anything you do with an online business is going to have keywords integrally related to it. Every search that happens starts with keywords related to the product or service or information that the searcher wants. Our job as a website owner is to present information in such a way that Google feels we are the authority for the related topic and therefore shows our web page above others when a search is done. With the creation of search engines such as Google, finding the information we want has become far easier for us. Any information is available right at our fingertips. Gone are the days when we used to search through a phone book or other directory or an encyclopedia to find the information we were looking for. In that past life that seems far away for most of us, we only found the information that was provided in the directory we were searching. Now, when we search for information, we use a search engine such as Google that is connected to just about every computer in the world. So if we run a search like this for a knife sharpener, we are connected to millions, if not billions, of computers all over the world and connected to the internet. While it can make finding what we are looking for very easy as a consumer, it also adds a level of complexity for the seller of a product to be seen. I don't think it is possible for us to completely understand the entire algorithm used by Google, but we can learn enough to get in the game at least. So that's where search engine optimization begins. What we're going to do is look a little bit at some of the details that Google looks at when making a decision to rank a website. So first, let's get some perspective on how large Google really is, and understand what monster share of traffic they have across the internet. As you can see from this map on internet-map.net, Google receives the monster's share of traffic across the internet. Next to them is Facebook, and the next biggest is YouTube, which incidentally is also owned by Google. And so this just gives you a little bit of an idea of how huge they are and why it's so important for us to appease Google, so to speak, in what we do with our research. Okay, so the numbers that of people that go through Google and their properties is astronomical. So when you do a search on Google, you get what is called a SERP, or Search Engine Results page. That's what we're looking at here. These are SERPs. And so that stands for Search Engine Results Pages, or page. These results are what come up with the keywords that were typed into Google. So in this case, knife sharpener. The first results that come up at the top are ads generally. So we've got ads that are sponsored, as you can see here, and then we've got ads down below. And then you will oftentimes, depending on the type of search you're doing, maybe see map results for local visitors, and oftentimes videos as well. This particular page is then showing popular products, and only then does it get down to the organic search results, the natural search results that are showing up based on the keyword and what Google thinks are the pages most relevant to that keyword phrase. And very seldom do searchers look beyond the first page of search results. We've generally got a list of pages here up to about 10 organic search pages. So here we've got Amazon twice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 organic search results on this page, and then it follows with some more ads down at the bottom. So our goal is to show up in these, preferably in the top half of the organic searches that come up. In order to rank our site in these top pages, we must understand how the system works to a small degree and what keyword phrases our potential customers are using to find us. And so this is why keyword research is such an important part of our business. Endeavor to use keywords in our efforts to bring customers to our site. This is called SEO, or search engine optimization. One of the first things to understand with search engine optimization is that we must use relevant keywords that our customers are actually typing in. The next important thing for us to understand is to realize that every page on our website must have a focus keyword to that page. So it might start with our home page and then go to category pages, and then each of those category pages will have subpages, products, and so forth that all need to be optimized. Ultimately, these keywords will carry over into other aspects of digital marketing that we'll do across the web, branding, our social media, content marketing, and other things that might happen as we work to market our website. When we know the keyword phrases that our customers are using, we will want to use them in social platforms and videos, blog posts, and any of these other aspects of marketing across the web. It is also important to recognize that the keywords we use should stand out on the page. This means that we should not try to focus on 5 or 10 different keyword phrases on a single page, but instead each page should have a primary focus. Now, our website should also have a focus overall, and the phrases should all be closely related. In other words, we need to have a unique keyword phrase for each product-related page on our website, and it needs to stand out beyond any other words that are on that page. If your phrases are not standing out, then Google doesn't know what the page is about and therefore does not know how to rank us. This is part of why it is so important to have a focused niche with your site. If you have too many keyword phrases that are not closely related in different pages throughout your site, it'll be harder for you to gain rankings for any of those keyword phrases because of the other content that Google sees in the other pages throughout your site. So we don't want our keywords to be hidden among all the other content. We don't want to have so many different keywords that it looks like a jumbled mess. We want to be very focused with our niche, and then very focused with each of our pages and the keyword that we're targeting for each one of those pages. Okay? So now that we know we need a unique keyword phrase for each page on our site, we can begin doing our keyword research with some initial keyword phrases called seed phrases that we put into Google's Keyword Planner tool. So let's get into the Keyword Planner tool and begin this process. So here we are in the tool. Hopefully you have already watched the webinar, if needed, that teaches you how to get to this tool. The web address that you will use to get here is ads.google.com. You'll need an account set up for that. If you have not watched how to set that up, it would be very suggested, very important that you watch that webinar about setting up the account, because if you don't do it exactly as I outlined there, avoiding all of the obvious buttons that Google tries to push you through, you will end up being required to create an ad and enter a credit card in order to even get to this page. So make sure you've watched that webinar and you can get to this page already without having to enter a credit card to get started. So let's start with some seed phrases. And we put this right in here. So we can start, for example, let's take wigs as an example for us. If we wanted to sell wigs, then we could put wigs there. We could put real human hair wigs. We can put wigs for women. And then if there are other key phrases that we think might be relevant, we can put them in here. Again, this is our seed phrases to get us started in Google. After we run the initial search on the Google tool, we can download the list and open it as a spreadsheet to work with it. We can always come back and do more research for other specific phrases, but this will allow us to start selecting the most relevant keyword phrases for each page and category of our website. You'll have more keyword phrases in your research than you will need on your website, especially initially. But this will get us a start. So here we have our list of keyword phrases. These are the seed phrases we put in. Down below we have a whole bunch of other keyword phrases that Google thinks are relevant to what we typed in. So we come up here and click on Download Keyword Ideas. And when we download these keywords, if we're using Google Chrome, we'll get something like this. It will, if you have it set up just to automatically download, then you'll see it show up right down at the bottom of your browser here on the bottom left. If you have it set up to choose where to save it, then it will give you this prompt here where we can name it however we want to, and we can decide where we're going to save it and then save our file, and then it shows up down here. And one of the beauties of using Google Chrome as our as our browser is we can now drag this into our Google Docs page or our Google Drive. Google Drive is found by going to your Gmail account and then clicking on the Google Apps at the top right here, right up at the top next to your name icon. This little section here is the Google Apps. Used to be squares, today it's circles. They may change it to triangles tomorrow, who knows, but it'll probably still be in this location. You click on that, and under here we have Google Drive, which is kind of a triangular shaped icon with the green, yellow, and blue sides there. So you open Google Drive, that'll open up in a new tab for us, and we can click on this and drag it right up here, and it'll drop that file right on into our Google Drive. So it instantly uploads it. It'll pull open this little Upload Complete window. We can click on that, and then up at the top center we click on Open with Google Sheets, and that will create the spreadsheet version of the list of phrases that we want to work with. And so now we can begin working on our keyword list. Keep in mind that we must look at all of this data and determine which phrases are most important and easiest for us to use. The most important aspect of the keyword is relevance. If it's not relevant to our page or our product, we do not want to try and force it into the page just because it has a lot of demand. The next thing we look at is how much demand the key phrase has, and right on the heels of that we must understand how much competition each phrase has. So we will talk about some of the simplified ways to gather this data as you are beginning this research. There are many parts to the competition on each keyword phrase, and it can get very complicated, but there is no need to dive into all of those aspects at this time. A simple all-in title search will suffice for gaining a general view of the number of pages that are competing for each phrase. And so that's what I'm going to focus on with my webinars on keyword research. Since I already have webinars that talk about how to extrapolate this data, what I'd like to do here is just review what we've talked about today. So let's go back to there we go. So as a review, what we are looking for is to understand our target audience and the keywords they use to research for the product. Okay, so when somebody is doing a search, we're trying to find out what are the phrases that our potential customers are using to run a search to find our product. Okay. Then we want to gather a list of keyword phrases from the Google Keyword Planner tool. Okay, which gives us this spreadsheet right here. Then we must look through this list and evaluate the demand versus competition, explained in the next webinar. And we must understand that we want one primary phrase for each category page and product on our website. This is an important step to make sure we begin our website properly. And so take your time to make sure that you understand each aspect of it. As we start adding these keywords into our content on our pages throughout our website, we want to do it slowly and methodically so it is done correctly from the start.